Healthcare services worldwide are striving to develop person-centered practices. By doing so, the core value of healthcare is being re-established in ways where the health and well-being of all persons involved is the central goal. In person-centered practices, the persons are encouraged to take an active role in their care. Education, continuous support, and active participation were highlighted as important factors that lead to the adoption of person-centered health services. Person-centered care involves the active involvement in the care planning process and the awareness of the emotional and spiritual well-being of the person in care. To provide person-centered care, it is essential to recognize that everyone has knowledge, values, beliefs, and socio-economic circumstances which makes his care unique and different from any other. In the area of child and adolescent healthcare, the question is whether services are being person-centered with a focus on the needs, values, and beliefs of the child, or being family-centered with a focus on the needs of the family as a unit and thus little attention to the young person himself. Mostly, practices across the world have shown that parents or main caregivers have the active role in the child's care, while the child or adolescent was still given the passive role. While the involvement of the parents is essential in the care of children and adolescents, one questions whether healthcare practices are acknowledging and giving the children rights to be active participants in their care. The SECI Model was first introduced by Ikujijo Nonaka and later expanded by Nonaka and Hirotaka Takuchi. The initial aim was for the model to be used in the context of business and organization expansion, but since then it has been adapted to other areas, including education and healthcare. Nonaka explained that knowledge is a continuous interaction between tacit and explicit knowledge that results in the generation of new concepts and ideas. The concept of knowledge is divided into explicit and tacit knowledge. Explicit knowledge refers to the knowledge that can be articulated, written, and stored, while tacit knowledge refers to personal experience, values, beliefs, and emotions of an individual. The interactions between the two types of knowledge at every organizational level and by every member of the organization can lead to knowledge creation. The SECI model is based on the assumption that knowledge is created through social interaction of tacit and explicit knowledge, known as knowledge conversion. Nonaka and Takuchi explained 4 modes of knowledge creation. The first one being socialization, which refers to the process of gathering all the tacit knowledge from everyone involved. This is then followed by externalization, where the tacit knowledge is articulated and new explicit knowledge is formed. Combination is when this explicit knowledge is exchanged and combined with other existing explicit knowledge and therefore outputting systemic knowledge. And the last mode of knowledge creation is internalization, where the knowledge is put into practice and therefore once again forming tacit knowledge. This process takes place within the concept of Ba, which is a shared space where emotions, feelings, and experiences are shared. It involves the formation of a collective relationship which is open to the sharing of practices, values, processes, and culture. The main focus is on the individual as a person who holds the knowledge rather than just on the knowledge itself. It aims to create a common space, be it physical or virtual, to bring people of the organization together where they can dialogue to share and create knowledge and thus ultimately leading to innovation. As in the relationships formed in person-centered practices, relationships formed in Ba are based on not just the sharing of objective knowledge, but also on sharing values, beliefs, and emotions. It also reflects the formation of person-centered environment as a basis for person-centered research, where healthful relationships with participants are formed. Furthermore, Ba will aid in creating a sense of connectiveness and dialogue between all participants, thus focusing on the idea that the research and innovation is done with others rather than to others. In this poster, we put forward an example of how this Eastern model can be adapted in practice to develop person-centered practices within child and adolescent mental health services. The use of this model entails the involvement of all persons involved in the care process, and it also ensures that person-centeredness is maintained throughout the process.